Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Today, we're having our end of week wrap up. What a wild week over here in crypto as Bitcoin has continued to climb higher and higher and higher. When we started the week for Bitcoin, it was around $33,000. Now up here, butting its head up against 42,000. So we're still moving parabolically over here on Bitcoin. We'll take a look over there at the other altcoins too. We'll take a look at the XRP price chart as well. But really, we're getting to a super interesting time right now. And it's really incredible that it's happening so fast at this point because the price is getting so parabolic that it's looking like some type of a blow off top should be happening just hard to predict time, but I mean, with how fast things are going, it looks like it's just days away, but you never know, right? Things could slow down suddenly, or there could be a bigger knockback and then another pop to the upside and then the really big knockback. I don't really know. But as for like my price expectations on what would happen with Bitcoin, as for the scenarios that I've expected for Bitcoin, we're getting there, right? It's getting way, way up there, and we're starting to get right near my targets. And this is where I start really exiting out of some of my Bitcoin as we get higher. But for those who have followed this channel for a while, we've talked about the scenarios of one alt season versus two alt seasons and what could happen, right? I think it's pretty clear at this point that for me, there's no indication of a two alt season scenario at this point. In 2017, when we had our first alt season, right? There was one that took place up in here, and really, Bitcoin did come up a little bit higher and then turn around on itself to backtest this all-time high, and that's where you had an alt season. And while we've gotten too far at this point, I just don't see any scenario how we're doing something like what happened in 2017. I'm seeing way more of what happened back in 2013. So here on the left side of the screen, we have the 2013 bull run. Here on the right side of the screen, we've got the 2017 bull run. And we could see that things never just really panned out for what happened back in 2017. And Bitcoin has just continued to keep on climbing and at this point just going parabolic, which is an exact setup of what happened back here near the end of this bull run. And a lot of the reasons why my expectations are that the top of Bitcoin, it's not too much higher, right? I mean, if we look at it, that's less than 100% rise remaining in Bitcoin before, in my opinion, the party is just pretty much done for Bitcoin. But the really great thing about what happened in here is that in each scenario, when Bitcoin went parabolic and it reached up near its top, there was this giant knockback that happened back up in here and a giant knockback that happened back in here. And current pricing for Bitcoin right now, put that somewhere between like $50,000 and $60,000, where maybe we could see that really huge knockback come in. But in both parabolic rises, that led to an alt season. The only indication we have of some type of mid-cycle alt season, and we've discussed about this before, we have one example of it. So we have no repeating information to tell us, hey, when it crosses above the all-time high, that starts some type of alt season. We've only seen it one time, and to make the assumption is really just that. It's just saying, well, maybe it's going to do what it did that one time that it did it. But the thing that we do know is that during both of these bull runs that we had right here, Bitcoin went incredibly parabolic. By the time it got to the top and had a really big knockback, and we're not talking a baby knockback, we're talking like in 2013, that was like a 50% instant crash. So we're talking something huge, a big fallback, a big knockback, and this parabolic rise that led to an alt season and everything took off. So will everything take off this time? Will there only be select ones that take off this time? We don't really know. History has shown that the whole market does go up when that happens. We've looked at all the different altcoins that were around back in 2013. We've looked at it in 2017. Everything went up during those times. And as Bitcoin continues to gain more and more speed to the upside, considering it has risen $9,000 this week so far. And that's just from, Sunday night to today. So it's like less than a 5-day period, we've gone up $9,000. And so being someone who has most of their portfolio in altcoins, like I do, most of my portfolio is the altcoins. A portion of my portfolio is in Bitcoin. I'm getting more and more excited because we have seen this occur multiple times. Bitcoin goes completely parabolic. It gets knocked back. altcoins go completely ham. And while predicting time is not something that I like to do, if this rate continues, well, it all happens up in here. It all begins right up in here. Look at the rate that we've grown in just a week. One more week, it gets us to right up in there. And this is where alt season began. And also during this parabolic rise after this knockback in 2017 is when alt season began. So as we head into this weekend, I'm sitting here thinking, man, it could happen at any time. It could happen just in a couple of hours after I post this video. It could happen a minute after I post this video. It could happen on Saturday. It could happen next Tuesday. It could happen 2 weeks from now. I don't know. But when I'm looking at the rate of growth that is happening here with Bitcoin, it doesn't look like it's going to be too much longer until this really big blow off happens. And that's when the start of alt season began in both of the previous monster bull runs of Bitcoin. So it's an exciting time for altcoin holders because history has shown twice this is the moment that we're waiting for. Will it repeat again? We're all going to find out, but I have planned my investing, my strategies, everything around this moment right here. So I'm excited. And while I'm coming on here and there's not a whole lot different to say about today than there was yesterday, for the most part, the altcoins are all sitting within a few percentage points of where they were last time. But the big story here is that Bitcoin continues to march onward. And one really interesting thing that has happened here in this market is that we can see that the total market cap of cryptocurrencies has crossed over $1 trillion within the last couple of days. So that's a very historic milestone for crypto in general to be above $1 trillion. But really, it's the altcoin market cap that really has my attention right now. Something we've been watching on this channel for a long time is the growth rate of what happened back in 2016 before, the big bull run in 2017 and whatnot. And we could see how we've kind of had these exact same historical resistance levels and, have to work through them for a while before breaking out. We could see what happened at this breakout, a little bit of resistance right in here before it finally made an even bigger stab to even higher prices. But even that's not such a big deal to me right now. Of what I'm looking at now is that Bitcoin's rising up. It's getting to this level where we've kind of been anticipating on in this channel that it was a scenario that Bitcoin could break out without the altcoins going on a bull run, leading more towards that case of there only being one altcoin season rather than two. And right now I am leaning towards that seems to be what we're doing. We're doing the one alt season scenario. But here's the deal too. Check out what price level we hit yesterday over here on the total altcoin market cap in regards to Fibonacci retracements yesterday. We nailed the 0.702 Fibonacci retracement right to the T, right on the money, hit 702 yesterday. So now we're finding some resistance in here. We have retraced 70.2% of the entire bear market for the altcoin market right now. And here we are. And what's happening next, right? Looking like Bitcoin's going to continue flying to the upside. Looks like it's producing that scenario of where we have an alt season that begins. And what would that mean? That would mean the big breakout above 702 retracement, sending this thing on its way, just like you see in the intro of my videos. So will the altcoins kind of take a little bit of a whack down when Bitcoin has its big whack down? It's possible. I don't really know. I'm looking at this from a much bigger perspective rather than the short-term perspective, but you can see what's happening here. You can see how Bitcoin's going into this parabolic rise. You can see how we're getting to that moment, just like in 2013, that a big knockback came. That sent the altcoins flying, and we can see right here that the altcoin market in general has reached that big resistance level, and cracking through that thing is a big historical moment. And especially for the people who have been around with this channel since 2019, seeing that we've talked about this 702 so much, what do you think the chances are that we get right here, right now, right when all of this is happening? I don't find it a coincidence. I think it's lining us up to have our big breakout right as Bitcoin has its big fallback, and off we go in the altcoin market. So while things like the XRP price chart are still sitting down here in these price levels at this point, we know that alt season hasn't really kicked off yet. There's still like that critical moment. There's a moment where Bitcoin gets knocked back really hard, the whole altcoin market cap breaking out. We haven't reached that moment where the market is just going euphoric, right? So there hasn't been this moment moment where XRP has been entirely left behind. And unfortunately, or fortunately, you could say that we've seen it before where XRP has been the lagger before, and that especially happened right in here, where most of the market had broken out into new all-time highs during this time period right here, yet XRP was one of the last to take off. Bitcoin topped somewhere there mid-December, late December of 2017. XRP didn't top until the early part of January 2018. So really like a lot of the market kind of shifted into XRP later. So there's still a little time for a lot of this narrative with XRP and with Ripple to kind of play out. And we haven't had a situation where the whole altcoin market has broken up. There's still this specific phase of this bubble to play out that I'm waiting on. And that's going to be a monstrous knockback in Bitcoin. And after that knockback happens, we start to see the altcoins really take off. So I'm not saying that the altcoins will take off the moment Bitcoin starts falling back. It could all fall back down together while Bitcoin makes a huge knockback. But I expect that once Bitcoin finds that bottom, whether that's a 30%, 40%, or even a 50% pullback, all the altcoins start to lift off is what I'm looking for. And at that time, I'm really hoping we see that XRP and Ripple have cleared up a lot of the issues that they're having with the SEC, and we all get to enjoy the ride. And none of my targets changed, right? I'm still looking for $10 to $13 over here for XRP. A lot of risks involved in that. I like to bring that up every time that, you know what, Coinbase is going to be suspending trading of XRP for United States residents, or for everybody really, come January 19th, and a lot of other exchanges are following suit. So hopefully we see a lot of those things clear up, and hopefully we see all trading resume. And Uphold is going to get some free marketing here too, because they're accessible to United States residents, but they are going to be continuing trading of XRP. So Uphold will still be accessible for US residents. And I'm not affiliated with Uphold, but you know, they had stated Uphold has decided to continue listing XRP unless and until the SEC's complaint against Ripple is adjudicated to legally determine that XRP is currently a security, or until trading volume dissipates to a point where we can no longer support XRP. We trust that other exchanges will adopt a similar stance rather than rushing to judgment ahead of the court's decision. So once again, I'm not affiliated with them, but United States residents do have an avenue to access trading for XRP, and that would be at Uphold. But otherwise, keep in mind, alt season, in my opinion, hasn't started yet. Yes, we have retraced quite a bit. It is well below the retracement. If XRP was to be catching up to the rest of the market right now and catching up to where the altcoin market cap is, a fair price for XRP right now in relation to the total altcoin market would be $2.37 right now, if it was exactly where the altcoin market is right now. So it's incredibly discounted and inexpensive compared to the rest of the market. But as for the altcoin market confirming that it's in altcoin season yet, the altcoin market cap has not confirmed that yet. So I still just sit patiently waiting. But for the most part, this is an exciting time in this market. Bitcoin is over $40,000. It's insane. I can't believe it's happening. And we're just moments away from that whole alt season really starting to kick off if we continue doing how this market has performed before. And really drawing up a scenario of where Bitcoin takes off without the altcoins was because we've seen that before in this market. It's something that could be expected. So it's not really, I mean, while people wanted the 2 alt season scenario, I would love to have had a 2 alt season scenario. This isn't a surprise. This is something that we kind of expected that could happen. But each time that Bitcoin has had these parabolic runs, a monstrous knockback comes and alt season begins. So as we head into the weekend, that's the thing I'll be looking for. There's really not a whole lot to say about the market until that. That's really the next big phase that I'm looking for. I'm looking for Bitcoin to go up even higher, and then eventually some type of massive fall. So throughout the weekend, that's really the thing that I'm going to be looking for. Maybe we just consolidate for a day or two and nothing really happens over the weekend, or we start getting that. So that's what's on my radar. Those are the things I'm looking for. I'm waiting for alt season to begin after Bitcoin has a big pullback. But otherwise, we'll start wrapping this thing up. I have updated bcbacker.com. I announced this yesterday that enrollment is back open, and I did add 7 new videos. A lot of these are updates, part 2 progress updates in here. I did also add chart for tracking multiple altcoin percentage changes. It's where I do manage a lot of different altcoins at once if there's something that's really taken off a lot faster than others. Down here, it has said this course is closed for enrollment, but it's not. You could have been able to click right here for enrollment. I'll hit refresh and show you that that has been updated. I saved it like that for you. It does say this now, so sorry about that. Sorry it said that for anybody who was confused. Either way, it is open for enrollment right now, still $39. You can check that out over there on bcbacker.com. Anybody who is already enrolled, you have access to all that stuff for no additional cost. That is included. Just log in. It's all there for you. You could follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker. So I will probably be updating this throughout the weekend. So check me out on Twitter at bcbacker. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick me up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.